Welcome to Cloudy Thoughts, the only cloud gaming show with a host trained in the LoFi ways of all LoFiism. I don't know, but here I am, your host, LoFi Monk. How's it going? If you're listening to the podcast, we stream live on YouTube every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. And if you'd like to join the live audience, just jump in, whatever. And if you're listening to the show, you can follow us on the podcast. Let's see. This week on my channel, I didn't do much. It was mostly Far Cry and that kind of stuff. I got some first looks I still need to do for next week. I was kind of saving them up. It's going to be a big week for me. I'm going to do a lot of game streams next week. But yeah, other than that, let's get to our guest this week. This week we have on our show Mr. Vet Cloud Gaming. What up, Vet? How's it going? We have sound.
Right, there we go. Sorry.
There it is.
Let's take issue on me.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. I'm already breaking shit. I'm not even my own stream, and I'm messing stuff up.
Welcome to the show.
Let me turn this brightness up. There we go. Now we can see my nice rosy red sunburn.
Also with us tonight is Maker of Chaos. What up, man?
Hello.
How you doing? Let's go ahead now.
Doing pretty good.
Whoop, switch that around.
Did you get a snap? I invited him to Fortnite today, and he backed out because he had to take a nap.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Maker.
Me.
Oh,
Yeah. So lame.
Yeah, man.
What an excuse.
you gotta be prepared for cloudy thoughts. I understand. I had to take a nap too.
I never get. I got a 5-year-old. I don't get to take a nap.
It's one of those things that just happened. I didn't even mean for it to. I was sitting there. No, but anyway, yeah. I wanted to have you guys on this week because, this show, it's about the cloud gaming community. It's about cloud gaming, period, no matter what platform. And I don't know a lot about GFN. I see the headlines. I go and I look at the blog posts. I've tried the free tier. I haven't had a connection with people that really know the game, that platform inside and out the way you guys probably do, So, anyway, I thought maybe I could get some insight into that. And also, I just wanted to get to know you guys better and introduce my audience to you guys because you're awesome cloud game. Y'all have awesome voices in the community.
I try.
I would say Maker of Chaos has a reputation. But
What? Does
a
he?
little, but I think
I
think we need that, we need people that make you what's the word for it? You really have. He pushes you to really believe what you believe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you gotta really believe what you're saying. Otherwise, Maker's gonna pull you apart. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Look, I've tried. I have tried to get like that, and nobody believes me. I've watched people on Twitter get attacked and all of that with their thoughts, and I'm like, I feel left out. I want to be one of those that gets attacked for my thoughts, and nobody does it because I think they think I'm nuts or something, or they're scared because I'm already crazy, so they don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, you're a man of you're a complex man. You're
I am
a man of many facets. I mean, just look at your avatar. You got your head's got it's cold, your arms are hot, then your chest needs to be you got gloves on.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty much goes with what's going on in my head. It fit perfectly. It goes literally what's going on up inside there because I don't know what the heck's going on half the time inside my head.
Dude, I love stopping in on your content and checking it out because it's always going to be mayhem and chaos. The first time I stopped in, I don't know what game you were playing, but you were like, LoFi, look, I can't blow this truck up. Check it out, watch. And you just started throwing anything and everything at it. And you were like 30 minutes trying to blow this truck up, and it wasn't.
Oh, I don't know what it was, but I remember this. Yeah, I remember that. I don't think I ever got it to blow up. Oh yeah, I do remember because I had about 20 rounds of C4 strapped on that thing. I had 20 planted mines around it. Nothing worked.
What game was
I
that?
put enough C4 and mines around that. It should have wiped out an entire country, or at least a 6 block radius. It was. I mean,
Well, it was entertaining. I mean, I talk about a lot about the time that when you were playing Roller Champs and the count timer went up to like 20 something minutes.
Oh my god, I raged so much in that game. With that, I don't even know what happened with that stream because I was gonna quit. Dusty kept me in it and just said, just wait it out, it'll be fine. And I don't know what happened because we went off completely off of gaming. We were talking food and everything else, and I don't think the game ever got fixed until, like a couple of days later. But that was one of my favorite streams ever.
Oh yeah. So how would you describe your content to someone that hasn't seen you before?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Just don't expect anything. Just expect the unexpected, because there's either going to be tech issue or it's just going to be complete and utter mayhem. Like exactly what looks behind me, it's basically that. There's just going to be a lot of explosions. If you suffer from PTSD, I swear to God, I apologize, because you'll probably freak out if it's the right type, because that's literally what happens. It's just things blowing up. Sometimes I don't even know how. If a forest gets set on fire, I don't know how that happened. It was like that. That truck was already shot up and blown to pieces when I got here, type stuff. It's always, but I have fun. I love to have fun.
That's what's up. Man.
Shut up, Ray.
So if you're interested in Bet, he's got links down in the description. Just check it out. Maker, you stream on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I do every once in a while. I've been trying to stream a little bit more lately.
Is there a reason you're a Twitcher and not on YouTube, or is it just
some simplicity? If I'm on YouTube, it's to help out either CGX or Cloudy, because I do some content for them as well.
Oh yeah. Shout out to those guys for sure. So I already got to what brought you to streaming and making content?
Well, I mean, I started a while back. I had a few friends that streamed to Twitch, and I figured I'd try and if I could make a little bit of cash on the side to supplement my gaming wants, it'd be nice. So that's why I started, and I took a break from it for like a year because I got swamped with work, real life, and stuff like that. So kind of trying to get a rhythm of it and maintaining a schedule and trying to, consistently do it if I can.
Yeah, it'll pull you in. It's hard to get away sometimes once you start. But what brought you to content creation, Vet?
I got into it in 2018, and I was doing retro gaming. Prior to that, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I did not understand why people sat there and watched people play video games. Because I never did. I didn't understand, and I think I blame my kids because they always watched like people playing Minecraft, and I'm going to leave it there because it was just where the people were located at that were streaming it, and I didn't understand what the point of it was. So, but then I got into it doing retro on Facebook gaming, and I actually enjoyed it. It was mostly literally started as a hobby, and it just kind of grew, and then I brought it over to Twitch, and then I established myself on YouTube, and then when Stadia had their big Google event and they made the announcement, I was just smashing the keyboard. All right, reserve. And once Stadia came out, I shifted to, and I rebranded from my retro stuff to cloud gaming, and I never looked back. And I did one last rebrand. I went from, most people knew me as Stadia Vet Gaming, and then I shifted to Vet Cloud Gaming because I wanted to keep the veteran, and all I did was play stuff in the cloud. And then it went from there, and I've slowly done different things here and there, but I've been pretty much focused on YouTube, and then things happened and I went back to Twitch, and I've had fun ever since over there.
Okay, so out of all this, we finally bring up cloud gaming. To someone that's never heard of cloud gaming, Maker of Chaos, how do you explain what cloud gaming is?
I just tell them it's an Xbox. It's like Netflix, but with an Xbox that's streamed to you rather than you owning the Xbox.
Easy enough.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's pretty accurate too, because like every cloud-based system has a data center with a set custom configuration that plays these games. So it's kind of accurate.
So
kind of disappointed. I thought it was going to be a more complicated.
Yeah, answer. I really thought he was going to dive into that one.
That's more of a answer.
I mean, you could go in and say like it's like there's some load bearing ones where you're able to utilize multiple systems to improve power.
Right, that was one time.
But like honestly, it's all the same. It's all PCs in a data center.
Right. So I'm going to stay with you, Maker, for right now. What do you think about cloud gaming, and what does it mean to you?
It's convenience for me. If I'm ever in a location that has good signal, or if I'm on the go and I want to play some games, that's what I utilize it for. Or if I want to not use my system as much, like let's say if I'm streaming, I want to utilize the effective power that I can to have a good stream, and that's why I like stuff like GFN or Stadia or Luna are really helpful in that aspect.
So would it be fair to say that do you feel like, let me ask you this, do you feel like cloud gaming is the future or just something that's happening right now?
I think it's the future. I don't think it's like right now. Like obviously it's not that huge right now, but definitely down the line, everyone's going to be streaming these from their TVs. There's going to be an Xbox app. There's going to be a PlayStation app. There's going to be a Nintendo app, and that's where you're going to play your games.
Okay, well, I'll turn this to Vet.
All right.
What do you think about cloud gaming, and what does it mean to you?
I agree. It's definitely the future. I don't think it's. I think it's still on a small scale right now, but it's growing way more than it was like even a year ago. Where we were a year ago to now, it's 10 times. I would say it's way bigger. We've seen everybody's getting on board with it. It's not just Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft obviously has shown that they're putting it at the forefront. They're taking over what GFN was like frontline and center. Like, hey, look, you can get a 3080 in the cloud. And to me, it's like Xbox just literally put it and said, no, we're going to just take over, and we're going to be the showstopper when it comes to cloud gaming and get everybody on board. I agree. I think it's going to be a while before we see that the consoles disappear. I think it makes more sense to do that, because who the hell wants to sit and wait for downloads? And for me, and I said this on another show, I was like, all it's really going to take is one game to make the big push where you're going to have to wipe off everything off your console to fit that one game to install. And then when you're done with it, then you have to delete that, re-download everything else. And I'm like, that's just stupid. And I know Maker said Nintendo will have an app. That ain't never going to happen. Unless the people that run Nintendo, when they pass away and they transition, somebody else takes over Nintendo, it might. But right now, they will probably take the company to the grave with them before they would put that stuff in the app, because that's just what Nintendo is. They're consoles. I don't see that happening anytime soon for them. I would see Sony get rid of their console and Sega come out with the cloud app for all of their stuff before I would see Nintendo jump on board.
I think we're going to see a lot more. Actually, I think in the future, we're going to see a lot more of that. These publishers just breaking off and having their own Not that would be the only place you can get it, but just as another avenue.
I think they'll use other services. That's just me. I think people realize. I think these companies like EA, because remember I remember a while back EA thought about doing their own cloud service, and I don't think they realize how hard it is to run that stuff.
I mean in the sense of using like how Stadia has its white labeling. I think you'll start seeing like
Ray, I am smarter than Sony and Google. Shut up, Ray.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that, like, people like to bring up Stadia's white labeling, but it's like I don't think there's all.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be immersive streaming. I mean, or it'll be Facebook that'll do it. They'll be like, hey, here we are. Here's our cloud. You're going to use it because you use Facebook. Now you're in the cloud.
Have you tried their cloud gaming?
I have not. I still haven't tried it, and I want to try the Crata stuff as well. I don't even think I've ever played Crata before. I've never, even when it was on Stadia, I never used it.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, Facebook's got cloud gaming now. Apparently,
I think McDonald's has cloud gaming.
Have you tried it?
I have not, but I believe there was like an article last year that Facebook had over 1 million users on their cloud gaming.
Oh yeah, it makes sense that they would get into it.
And I think like Ubisoft is working on a game for Facebook cloud gaming as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, with them it's going to be interesting because they'll be able to implement like features into their social platform. You know, that is kind of crazy. But anyway, let's jump into some news. Shout out to everybody in chat. How's it going, Ray? Ray the Gaming Cyborg. What's up, bro? Crow Resin out here.
See you in there, Ray, harassing me.
Sanchez, #1 in the chat. What's up, everybody? If you're watching live, hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, whatever channel you're watching on, and jump in the chat and tell us your thoughts. So let's see, Boostroid. Have you guys tried that out?
I have. I tried it before they turned they flipped on the 6 servers in the US when my latency was still like pushing 125 milliseconds, which is awful. Like you shouldn't be able to play anything with that high of a latency. It should just be jittering every time you try to move. And I live streamed Grand Theft Auto 5 on the online side of it. I didn't even play just the story mode. I jumped right into the online and I basically stole a car, shot someone, and drove around and caused complete chaos in the game. And showcase, I'm like, why? I don't understand how it's even able to run that well. Because
especially that game.
With my latency that high, that was the confusing part. Now, then they made their announcement. Well, I got an email that they all 6 servers were live, so my latency dropped from 125 to 21, which actually is better than GFN because GFN my latency is between 30 and 33. So I usually roughly get 30 to. And I peak at about a 33 on milliseconds for the latency. And I've never gotten it lower than that. And I usually complain about because Project Storm shows like a 9. And I'm like, that's just BS. He's probably tapping into something or, something like that. And Ray, if he gets that low of a score, it's just because he lives in Silicon Valley out in California. So he doesn't count either. But Boostroid got me down, at 24. And I've tested a bunch of their games. I bought WWE 2K22 and I had it installed, and then all of a sudden it showed up on Boostroid, so I just went uninstall because I'm like, I don't like to install anything. Cloud gaming has spoiled me so bad. I hate installing things, and the moment a game is on a platform that I can play it in the cloud, I will uninstall it immediately.
And that's crazy because I mean, for me, my standpoint is I don't even have a computer that could handle installing any game. I don't even have a graphics card. So like your computer, you're good to go, and you still like.
Yeah, I have a 3070 in my laptop. I have a 3070 in my laptop. There's no reason that I couldn't, but I'm lazy and I'm spoiled and I don't want to install anything. I want everything on every platform available, so I don't have to touch any. I never have to click download and install.
Right.
I will be okay with that if every game that I like to play is available in the cloud, except for Madden because I don't give 2 shits about Madden. That game sucks. I'm okay with it though. So that's the thing. And I just saw Boosteroid just sent me another email today because they added 5 more games to their platform.
Oh, that's dope.
And I was just like, oh, I'm not lazy, Penguin. I'm the least laziest person ever. Even though all you guys see me do is sit here.
I wanted to clarify about the Facebook thing. July of last year, so about a year ago, they posted that they had over 1.5 million monthly active users using the cloud gaming portion on Facebook.
That is crazy.
That's badass. I mean,
that's a lot.
That's
cool.
But
then again, Facebook's everywhere. They're like what Microsoft wants to be, but they're already everywhere because they're Skynet.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
I mean, they're already run by a robot, so.
I know he I don't like looking at him because he creeps me out. He also put me in Facebook jail a couple of different times. Which may have been
That's hilarious. No, but Boosteroid, they got this. They're doing their own little streaming stick. I picked up on some Romanian website, prosport.ro. Yeah, they got a streaming stick coming out in Romania, and you can get 12-month subscriptions, and they can be purchased for 80. The streaming stick can be purchased for $89 or 89 euros.
Oh, well, it's overseas. That's what. Yeah, when they added the servers, as soon as that turned on, I was like, I was live on Cloud Nation with Dr. And as we're discussing stuff, I'm sitting here just typing away because I'm like, purchase. I was purchasing the annual subscription to it.
Well, I don't know how much weight there is to this, but on that Romanian website, in the article, they say that Boosteroid is PlayStation's biggest competitor there. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's weird because for me, like, I wouldn't put Boosteroid on the same. It's not the same as PlayStation though, which is weird because Boosteroid and GFN are basically identical, not identical services with like hardware wise, but they're basically the same thing because if you're a PC gamer and you want to use cloud, that's what you use. You use GFN or you use Boosteroid, or you get both of them and then you have the best of both worlds. So
Boosteroid, you still have to have like it basically connects your whatever service you use to buy your games, like Steam, Epic Game Store,
Ubisoft, Rockstar, and a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head.
That's one thing I don't think about either because I'm not normally a PC gamer. But if you've already got the library spread across these services, and you want a way to play it without having to constantly install, uninstall, update, all that junk, plus deal with Windows updates, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's a big.
That's where GFN really shines.
Well, and they do have an app. I usually use the web browser, but they have an Android app. So then, like, if you're a user of Boosteroid and you have like the Shield TV, I think that you could probably install it on the Google TV with Chromecast. Just go to the App Store, Google Play Store, and download it, and then you've got Boosteroid on there.
Interesting.
Which is
I didn't know
cool.
if it was available to all of the U.S. or just certain places.
No, I think it's available to everywhere, if I remember correctly. When they launched it, I believe it's everywhere. Even Linux gamers can now use Boosteroid. It's pretty snazzy stuff there.
Well, let's see. GFN got some what is it? 10 games from EA this week.
Yeah.
Have you got a chance to play any of them?
No, Fortnite has taken over my life. That's all I do now. I eat, sleep, and
Fortnite.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I do. I think they sucked me into the metaverse. I went to a concert in Fortnite today, so I'm pretty much that's all I do. It was crazy. I don't know. I think it was a Korean band. I'm not really sure what it was.
But it was a good time, huh?
But I know the one you're talking about.
Real Certified Doc went and checked out, and Cool Breeze Gaming. Shout out to them. We all went and checked out this concert, and we were there, and it was a lot of flashing and lights. So I'm hoping I didn't give anybody seizures with that part of the stream.
I think I mentioned that one last night. Remember we were talking about?
Oh yeah, you might have. Yeah, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. It's actually really cool because to me that like we've all been talking about like metaverses and with like Fortnite or all these other Facebook and things like that. And I'm like, it's another thing that reminds me of and how much I miss PlayStation Home because I used to be able to do that in PlayStation Home on the PS3. You could just jump in with your friends and go to the theater or go listen to music and things like that. It was a lot of fun. It was really fun. I didn't understand the music.
Tours of the games and stuff with your friends.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell I don't know any of the song, but I was like, now I want more. Can they bring me like Green Day, System of a Down, somebody I know? I'd be down with that. I'd jump into a concert and go check out System of a Down in Fortnite.
You're starting to see it. I mean, like, there's been several concerts through Fortnite, and I think that is kind of the bridge to like a metaverse type deal where you have these kind of real life events but displayed in a game.
Yeah. Imagine when that comes to AR, like where people in real life are going to be.
I remember, like, I had the Oculus Quest. I had the Oculus Quest VR headset, and I know they had deals with like the NBA and the NFL where you could like attend a basketball game or attend a WWE event in VR. Like, so you're like actually, it's like you're in the stands watching the events, which was kind of cool. I never was able to get tickets because I'm poor.
Ray said Travis Scott did a concert in Fortnite.
I don't know who that is either. That
because I could. Yeah.
I know.
Oh, you don't know Travis Scott?
I don't know.
I think
I had that concert where a bunch of people were injured.
Well, and to me, I'd rather go in Fortnite and go to a concert than have to go sit around other people because I have issues with my PTSD that prevent me from really wanting to be around a ton of people.
Large group,
large groups would trigger it, and then the noise, it probably would not end very well for me. So I do like those things. Like, I don't mind it. I would, if I could attend an NFL game or a WWE event and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, see, Ray, I wouldn't have known that. If it ain't country or 80s or 60s music, I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, but things like that during the pandemic, during the shutdown, like that would have made a huge difference.
Yeah,
for a lot of people. But yeah. But so GFN, man, I'm an outsider looking in. Explain to me the magic of GFN.
It's basically
like, tell me the features. Get me pumped, get me hype, Mr. Ambassador.
I mean, it's, if you're a PC gamer, if you like technology, that's what it does. It literally gives you a full-fledged gaming PC available in the cloud. So if you have a shitty computer, or you don't even have a computer, and you have a smart, like a Shield TV, that's your only device, and you basically can convert your tablet, your iPhone, your iPad, MacBook, a Chromebook, I mean, anything you have that can get access to GFN, which is available not only on an app, but it's also web. It's a web-based. So you can use your browser. You're still able to access, a gaming PC. It allows people to jump in and become those PC gamers that they always, that their friends are, and not have to worry about the updates and running, or if you have a Chromebook, we all know Chromebooks, nobody has access to, your Chromebooks can't handle that kind of stuff. It amazed me when like God of War showed up on GFN, and I could go on my Chromebook or my iPad and sit there and play God of War, and it looked gorgeous. So I've been a fan of it from day one. I had it when it was in beta, when I had the entire Steam catalog, and I've spent way too much money, that more than my wife needs to know about, on Steam gamers, and Epic.
PC gamers, that's got to be just like a huge, like a game changer for just sporadic game sessions with your friends, because you could just jump in
anywhere, like legit anywhere. That's the best part, is like if you're at work and all you have is your phone, when your boss is not around, you just open up the GFN app, connect your controller, or if it's touch controls, then you don't have to actually do your work and you can just play video games.
Yeah, lately I've been finding both you guys know I play Stadia, so lately I've been finding PC gamers that are like, they're aware of cloud gaming, but they haven't really looked into it. They don't, they've heard the buzz, but nothing more than that. Haven't experienced any of that. I've been finding a couple lately and bringing them to just try out Destiny. A free to play game. Try out Destiny because I know you got it on PC, and just compare the two and see what you think. And man, it's like they're always shocked that like that's just in a browser you can do that. Like what?
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's if you have kids and they have let's say the a school book, Chromebook, and the fact that they can go on and just play games, if that's the only computer they have access to, and they can go on and play games on what GFN
or almost everybody has a smart TV.
Yeah, I mean, how crazy is it to be able to sit there and play these? Like the God of War blew my mind. Need for Speed. I love racing games. That's another one I love playing, and just to be able to just hop from one device to the next and play these games, and or watch my kid play games and do the same destructive nature that I have with driving over people, which I don't condone him to do, but he does anyways. I don't know where he learned it from, but still, it's a lot of fun, and I just wish people that was the big reason that I got into cloud gaming and streaming it, was because it blew my mind how good this stuff runs, and I don't understand. Like, I always said it was some weird ass voodoo magic that it would run that good. And hold on, someone's at my door. Okay, never mind. It was a ding dong bitch. But it amazed me how well this stuff would work. And then I'm like, all right, there's no way that it should be able to do all of these things that it does. And then when I show it to people, they're just like, how are you doing all that? And then you just kind of showcase, you point, click, and show them things. And then they're like, and I'm like, here, try it out yourself. It's free. They have a free tier on GFN. If it's Stadia, hell, it's automatically free. At the time when those were the two primary cloud gaming services. Now now you can literally use anything to, there's a service for everything.
Yep. For me, I would say, because I have a 3080 Ti rig, to have a solid cloud-based solution that's close to my rig is really nice. Like I believe when New World showed up and Lost Ark dropped, I immediately uninstalled them from my PC so that I could save space, because both those games are like a hog on storage. So certain games I would take off. I still have like some games that I want locally, Halo Infinite I have locally on my PC that I enjoy playing it on a PC rig rather than through cloud. So but
cloud gaming isn't quite to like esports yet. Like, it's not quite that tight yet, but
they're getting there though. They're getting there. There are some games that take advantage of the esports league that are like Splitgate has an esports league, and that's one that you could easily use a cloud, a service like GFN to play. And I don't think if you had the 3080 tier, I don't think anybody would know the difference. There's no way if it ran well and there was no hiccups.
I can like slightly tell. Like you can. I feel like every kind of cloud gaming has that just a hair.
Yeah. Like
you can if you've been gaming on your PC and you swap over, I can tell. But then again, I'm running like with a 1 millisecond monitor, and like I have a good setup basically, and but it
sounds like it.
I still think it is a good option. Like Splitgate, I had uninstalled and I hadn't played in a while, and Vet was streaming Splitgate, and instead of having to install it and wait like a few minutes for it to log in, I just loaded up GeForce Now, ran it, and I played some Splitgate with him.
Nice. But yeah, it definitely has the convenience of cloud gaming is like,
it's ridiculous.
Almost enough to that's got to be the number one thing you notice when you first try it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is still in its infancy, and who knows what it's going to look like in the future. But right now, Things are
I mean,
crazy.
I just look at it. I'm like, dude, you can get a 3080, an RTX 3080, in the cloud. That to me still just amazes me. Like,
Yeah.
we all know PlayStation's been around for years in the cloud, but the fact that you can get either you can play your Xbox games in the cloud and then a 3080, like, I just still amazes me. And I've been using it for a while now with GFN and promoting it, and the same when I was on the 2080, and it's still to this day I'm just like, wow, like I can still play. I'm using a 3080 and playing these high-end games, and it just loads like that, and I can hang out with friends and multiplayer, the multiplayer stuff, and so I'm just, it still amazes me. I'm still.
Have you heard about? Have you guys heard anything about this? The Xbox making an announcement or saying something about they plan to add a feature that any game you purchase will be playable in the cloud.
Yep.
Or any game you purchase in your library will also have a cloud option.
I've heard that, and there were a few Microsoft Xbox Cloud related things I've seen and heard about. That was one of the announcements that I heard about, and then there was some other Project Keystone related things that I've been hearing about here and there.
I think
Project Keystone's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think Xbox has always wanted that option to where, like, you buy a game and you can play it wherever you want. Like, they had the whole Xbox Anywhere option originally, where you could buy a game once and you'd get it on both PC and Xbox. And I thought that was a really nice feature. And
I think that's a game changer for me. But I still want to see their quality come up a little bit.
That's the biggest thing that's hurting them right now, is it's not the same quality across the board.
And I think it'll improve. I think.
Oh, well, it's Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen it improve when they dropped the Series X blades in. But I think there's definitely some networking stuff that they can do to optimize and make sure it's streamed at an effective quality.
Oh,
and I think they'll catch up for sure. I just think it's a matter of time.
Yeah. So, nothing big happening in Stadia news. There are.
What I heard there was. Oh no, I'm just kidding. There wasn't.
Well, no. Well, we can talk about how do you feel about Madden?
Madden sucks. I'm sorry. I have to agree with. Oh, I can't even say it. It's gonna hurt me. I'm already getting a cramp in my stomach for agreeing with Jeff. God, I can't even say. Wow. But no, I actually agreed with Jeff on several points, and I'm amazed that I even said that out loud. Wow, it takes a lot to say stuff like that, but he is spot on with some of the issues with Madden. I mean, it's clear. Anybody that has ever played Madden knows for like the last 5 years, all they do is they take these features from years ago, like 2001, 2002, and then they bring it back. Or it's like, hey, look, you can play Madden in the streets now. And I'm like, oh, you mean EA's NFL Street that you had, back in the day on the PS2? I said, that's not a new feature. That's literally, I bet you Ray still has the game in his catalog of, in his collection. That's not new. You're not bringing us anything new. You're just updating the roster. You're not changing anything. And the only thing you do is add more shit that people need to buy. Now, losing it on Stadia is a huge loss, not just for Stadia, but for cloud in general, because that was the one game you could play anywhere. And it was the only option to play Madden in the cloud at that time. Yeah. And now that's gone. But I get that EA has issues, and that's just EA. That's why somebody should buy them out and get it over with so you can actually get a proper game. Madden's been shit since ESPN NFL 2K5, and they've never recovered. And this is the same crap that we're getting year after year.
Yeah, I mean, it's because the headline was stated as Madden's not coming to Stadia, but it should be just Madden's not coming to the cloud.
Well,
but articles that are going to do that to get it's the clickbait shit that they do to use Stadia's name in it.
To me, the big thing is that Stadia was the only one that had it, and Stadia is the only one that, they lost it. effectively. And
Yeah.
that was one of Stadia's big selling points. It was one of the biggest, it's like one of the biggest titles in the US. Like year after year, it just sells units. It does really well.
Ray's right. I buy it every time it comes out as much as I bitch about it.
It is like losing a God of War. It is like losing a like it'd be like losing Lost Ark for GFN. Does really well on Steam.
And I think the other reason that it made a bigger impact on Stadia, and I get part of it. My idea thing is that it could have been, it was, you put Stadia's name in it, you're going to get way more attention, with writing your articles. But the other issue is that Stadia has no sports games now, like big sport, like Madden. The big ones were Madden, FIFA, and NBA. You got no basketball, you got no football, so it makes, I get it, it makes people worry. You're worried now. Are we even going to get soccer, or are we just losing everything? And regardless of what people say about Madden and all of that stuff, it sucks because sports games are huge in the US. FIFA is worldwide, but like Madden, basketball, NBA, all of them are money makers. And it just, I don't understand why you do it, but it's, I do, but I don't, and it still sucks. Yeah, and there's no baseball. I mean, unless you're on Xbox. Then
that's my biggest complaint is that this isn't the first time we've had one of these big titles leave Stadia. And no, I don't cheat in PUBG, Ray. I just think it needs to be kind of called out, in that we need to understand that, like, this is a massive title, and it's another one that's leaving. And I see a lot of people like, well, it's not in the cloud, period. And I'm like, well, who else says, like, Xbox doesn't have New World or Lost Ark or Dying Light 2?
Yeah, and that's how I like to think about these things. I like to think about it as like, okay, when everybody's like the sky is falling, I'm like, I don't look at any one platform and just say, oh, they really screwed the pooch. But I mean, I look at it more like, how does this affect cloud gaming as a whole most of the time?
Yeah.
It's not.
I think Stadia losing Madden affected it big time, because it puts them at a disadvantage to compete with like Xbox. Because the one thing that's always irritated me when it comes to cloud gaming is everybody compares GFN to Stadia. Stadia is a console. It is a cloud console. It is the only one that's a true cloud console, in my opinion. But so when you're comparing Stadia to anything, it needs to be xCloud, PlayStation Now, which that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not going to worry about that one right at the moment. But so you compare it to Xbox cloud gaming. Well, losing Madden, now and you already lost NBA. You're at a complete disadvantage, because if you go to Xbox cloud gaming, you've got Major League Baseball, the show 22. You got NBA 2K22. I think FIFA's on there. You've got possibly golf, maybe. I don't know. But they had Madden, older versions. But they basically covered the basis with all of your sports titles. They've got skating games, like things like that. So like Google should have done something to try to keep that on there. I don't care if it was a last gen version or if it was locked to only Stadia. The fact that you had it available in the cloud to anybody could play it. I could just buy Stadia and then just buy that one game, and that's it. I could have played that everywhere. That was the problem, and I think it's hurts across the board.
I did want to bring up Ray mentioning the new dev kit. I'm going to tell you right now, big publishers will still want a money incentive on a small platform. I mean, it's the same reason why EA had so much, like, they didn't come to Switch for so long, was because they didn't think it was going to sell a lot, and once it started selling and it got a larger player base, they said, okay, let's start making ports for it. And that's how it's going to be with Stadia, unfortunately. It's the same reason why we don't see like big publishers kept flocking to GFN. Like,
Penguin, it's not dead. They're not dead. They're just in a stagnant cruise control. It's like, I almost want to compare it currently with the situation with the Wii U, because the Wii U was getting games, but they were stagnant and it wasn't nothing big. They weren't getting anything big titles that everybody else was getting. And it's like what you watch Stadia and then you look at what happened with the Wii U. It's like watching it all over again with the Wii U. Not exactly, but I would say in a sense, in a weird twist your head, close one eye, and stand on one foot way.
I think the problem was.
Stadia made a weird shift. They had all this momentum. They made a change, a shift in everything they were doing. So I think what we're seeing right now is just, like you said, it's stagnant. It's like it's this slow buildup of momentum, and it's going to be a minute.
And I think the problem with Stadia is you've got two sections of their fan base and the users. You've got the ones that are the diehards that want everything, that understand. You've got some that understand that it's going to take a while. They're new, so that's just how things work in the gaming world. Then you've got those that are like, I don't give a shit. I want my stuff right now. Why don't they have it? They need to have it now. And then you've got those that are like, well, there ain't nothing wrong with Stadia. They're perfect. Everything is fine. What are you talking about? Right. That's blasphemy. Don't be bad-mouthing my platform.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
But I wanted to point out that like a lot of like gaming platforms, they invest a lot of money to keeping games in their platform. Like look at the original Xbox. I think they lost like billions of dollars on the original Xbox, but the 360 was super successful for them, and they've only doubled down with the amount of money that they're investing in their platform, especially with Game Pass and buying these studios. And if you're not going to drop that money down to support a platform, it's going to struggle. That's just a kind of a fact of the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, to me it just looks like they shifted to like a it's more like the Google Play Store, right? Like where publishers it's just a platform for publishers to go in. Just another extension for them to use or not use.
I think the big problem with that though is there's not a huge install base already. There's already there's a ton of people that use the Play Store, and Android was like one of the only like main options and Play Store was a default. And through paperwork with like the Epic versus Apple and stuff, we found out that Google and Apple pay incentives to like these mobile carriers to use their specific storefronts. And wow. And that's what they're doing, is so that Samsung doesn't make a competitor storefront or that they have less competition.
Yeah.
And
they're the ones that probably killed Windows Phone. God damn, I knew this.
And the problem is Xbox is working on
Google's
theirs.
Fault.
PlayStation's working on their cloud-based stuff too. And you're just seeing more and more competition in this space. And to stay competitive, you need to invest. You need to show what separates you from the rest of them. And that's what I worry about Stadia, is because I do see the potential with its tech. It has a lot of good things going. And
right.
And I'm more worried that they find immersive stream a lot more profitable, and they push that more than they do Stadia, the front facing. And then it means there's less. That means there's less incentive to support the Stadia version, because they're more focused on this white label thing that they can push out to third parties.
Well, and I think the biggest issue is Google is it's Google running things, and they're a business. They're not a gaming business. Like Microsoft, yes, they have Windows, but they've been around for a long time with Xbox. Going all the way back to the OG Xbox. So they've been around, so they know a thing or two. Wow, that was starting to sound like another commercial. But the issue that I've always had with Stadia was the fact that after they kind of just shuffled everything around, when things were closing and all this, and Google took over, I thought that was going to be a massive problem. down the road, because you're letting a business company try to run a gaming company, jump into the gaming industry and try to do things, and that's not a winning combination, because it's like you've got Stadia that wants to do these things, Google's doing their thing, and they don't know what the fuck's going on because they're not doing the same thing. They're not on the same page at all, and I don't know who's going to win the long run.
Like, to me, the big difference is like you don't see that social media presence like you do with other platforms.
Yep.
You mean like Luna?
And some people might think it's hype, but like it's a voice that speaks for that. You know what and you don't see that here.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that's kind of what Stadia wanted to do at first, but it just never came.
They did a good job for a while with even, using like Twitter. They were really good with communication. Well, not really, but just communicating with the Twitter communities and in general. They did a good job for a while, and then it just kind of slowly drifted and just started to quiet up.
Even with the Connects, I think it was a good attempt to try to create this kind of atmosphere that they're showcasing what they have for the future with the platform, but that's all dried up. We haven't had that in over a year now, and it.
Well, look at the fact that they don't even announce. We remember at the beginning of the year, well, we're bringing 100 games to Stadia this year. When's the last time they made an announcement about that? That was March. We're in June now. They haven't posted it in the blog. Yeah, after the March blog came out. That was it. Now April, May, June, 3 months worth of blogs and all these other things, and nothing about 100 games. They pushed out 28 to date. I don't know if they're even going to. I mean, unless they drop everything, they start just pumping games left and right. I don't know how.
We don't know what to expect. Yeah, we don't know what to expect, because whether they said this or didn't.
They said one thing, then they just go completely silent about 100 games. They deflect. You got people like Bryant from the Nerf Report, other content creators that try to get answers from Google, or and then Stadia jumps in on Twitter, but they give a blank answer, a vague answer that has nothing, or they just kind of shift it and deflect to something else that has nothing to do with the actual question, and it doesn't. That's a flaw with your team, your social media team, because we're asking you a question and you're completely ignoring it and talking about something else to deflect. It doesn't make you look good, your company look good. It makes you look like you don't know what the hell's going on. You also don't know what's going on.
Well, I mean, no company wants to admit whether or not they're going to meet a select goal. Like, generally, they won't say anything about it until it crosses that line, and they say, "Hey, unfortunately, we weren't able to do that because it looks bad, and company doesn't want bad press." And it makes sense why they, like, if they're not going to meet that goal, they're not going to say anything about it. And similarly with, like, if immersive stream's doing better for them than Stadia, they're not going to say that, because then it puts that other said thing down.
Yeah, I do want to say one quick thing though. I agree. Anthony made a comment a little bit ago that I actually agree with, because he said I think Sony's going to help cloud gaming out because of their new name and all of that on the 13th. I agree with that. I think that they're going to do that's going to help boost things up as well. I totally agree. When you've got the big two companies that are known for gaming jumping in and putting cloud gaming, kind of at the front of their stuff, that's going to help push the cloud gaming narrative more. So I did want to acknowledge his comment, because I saw that a while back and then I forgot about it.
I think that's something everybody in the community can agree on, is that we all feel like this is the future. We don't, even these companies don't know what to expect. It's a new opportunity, a new world for everybody. It's exciting to see what's happening. But yeah, I would definitely agree that what's that other thing we were talking about with Stadia and their social media? I would definitely agree that it's frustrating sometimes, the silence. Not even sometimes, all the time. Like, it would be nice to have somebody that could be the voice for them.
To have something to look forward to. Like, I wish I could go back to, like, the 2020 days where like Baldur's Gate 3 was coming out later that year, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for that. Like Avengers, and
Something to excite you.
Because I bought the most games in 2020. Like I bought Crata, I bought Avengers, I bought Ember, I bought I think people have this mentality that I don't play Stadia or I didn't invest like my time in it. But
you didn't? Oh man, I thought I had that mentality. Well, I mean, and people know me. That was my whole channel was Stadia for a while, and then I literally even when I shifted away and I stopped streaming it, I still play it because I've got friends that play it, and I like to, Jeff does a Monday night Wreckfest, and I love jumping in there just so I can smash his stupid school bus that he drives around.
Well, and I like PlayStation, but it's also, but at the same time, like I have harsh criticisms, and it's like sometimes
don't even get me started on PlayStation.
You can only get to that point with something when you like it enough to feel that way about it,
Yeah.
So hopefully that makes sense for people out there. But yeah, man, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't get me started about Xbox and their stupid Xbox app on PC. There's
oh
definitely
god, that's
some
some
things that
effing garbage.
Xbox has a lot to improve on, but from my perspective, at least they're pushing that boundary, and they're trying as one of the main gaming. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if PlayStation would have a effing. It'd be nice if PlayStation would have a web app or a freaking Mac-based app, but no, let's just lock everything to Windows or your console because that'll grow our player base.
No mouse and keyboard support on xCloud. Like, come on, how long is it gonna take?
Right.
Because they know what I know, and that's because nobody uses keyboard and mouse. That's just stupid. It's all about controller. That's what it really is. Come on now. They're not unless they come out with like an Xbox branded keyboard and mouse, which I'm surprised I haven't seen. Because it's Xbox. I'm surprised they haven't done that. But I think that's why they don't push it, is because they just assume I think it's an assumption that may or may, whether it's good or bad, it's as a whole, they're just assuming everybody who uses xCloud is going to be using an Xbox. They're just going to be the ones that are still using gamepads, the Xbox controller.
That's fair.
I don't know. Truth be told, they all have improvements to be made, and all these features eventually will catch up. They'll get their technology down to just.
Well, and that's the sad thing is Stadia's got the technology. They need to upgrade the graphics, but they got the tech there that's been there. They just gave up. To me, it seems like they were just like, they got all the momentum. They had everything. They forced Microsoft to jump into cloud gaming. They forced Amazon to get into cloud gaming. They forced PlayStation to be like, oh, fuck, we got to do something. And upgrade their shit. And then they were like, all right, well, we did our job, guys. Let's just call it a wrap. Start shutting things down.
And when people say stuff like that, stagnant. I understand, because there's nobody speaking from Stadia to those points.
And now Stadia got left. Everybody has surpassed them. Like, that's what kills me is I could, and I agree with Maker and I agree with everyone. They have so much potential, but they gave up, it seems, because they're silent, which kills me. That's the biggest part of it.
They gave up. To me,
the silence tells me like they don't know what's going on, and they're like,
well, even in the good times, it's silent. You know what I'm saying?
But part of that could be maybe they just want to be like PlayStation and not say anything. But you just let all of the competition pass you, and now you have to catch up because you are like, compared to some of these others, they're old tech now versus all the others.
Well, the silence allows everybody else to write the narrative.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and the difference with like PlayStation or Nintendo being silent is at least they have quality exclusive content to look forward to. And
have the new Metal Gear Solid.
With Stadia, I think that's its biggest like flaw, is that it doesn't have anything like exclusive. Like, I know GFN it just has PC games, but there are some exclusively PC titles that you can say that they have.
See, and that's
But
another funny thing because it really depends, and this goes for all platforms. I'm not saying this I'm saying that a lot of times it depends on what type of gamer you are, where you fit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because you have hardcore gamers. Those are the ones that are gonna, you have the different types. The casual gamers fit perfectly for Stadia. That's the pick up and play when you want. I get that.
Casual.
I mean, you don't get any more and the same goes with Luna. Luna's the pick up and play casual. Now they are doing a great job. They're pushing games out left and right that they keep adding, and they're shifting away from that casual gamer narrative. I think from what the games that I've been seeing them keep adding, whether it's Luna Plus or the Retro Channel, they're slowly starting to move away from casual to let's start adding everything type thing. But Stadia was great. They are a great platform for casual, and I always thought that they were fantastic at family-friendly games. They had the best. They still do. They have the best selection. I've always
party games.
Yeah, party and that. I was like, why don't you just go that route then? Come out and say, hey, we're gonna help the small guys out. We're gonna focus on family-friendly and party games. And there, bam, you've got a niche that you would fit perfectly for.
the problem with that is, to me, I don't even think they have the big party games. Like, where's Among Us? Where's Fall Guys? Like, I think those should have been the.
I found it. It's on Android or iOS.
Yeah, but you could have it like streamed to your big screen. I think that would be the big benefit of Stadia. Is you just need that app, you stream it directly, and play it.
I've always said this with Stadia. The one thing, and I know a lot of people we don't need them flooding the gate, open the floodgates with Android apps. But I'm like, but there are certain Android apps that you could put in there to fill the catalog until you're able to get these games. Like Call of Duty Mobile, that is a huge fucking game. No matter, I don't care if you don't like Call of Duty, but the mobile side, they have their own esports. They're a big thing. Yeah. You could easily put Call of Duty Mobile. They already added, hell, they have controller support on phones. So you could have ported that over very easily because Android's Linux, guess what? So is Stadia. So it should not have been that hard to port something like that. Hell, you could put Asphalt 9. At least give a racing game. Asphalt 9's on everything. It's on Windows. It's on Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation, but it's on Nintendo Switch as well. So there's another one that you could add in. There were certain, why don't you just go through the fucking Google Play catalog, look for certain big titles, and then port those over real quick to fill your catalog? Because nobody's going to complain. What are they going to do? Complain, oh shit, man, we got more fucking games. I don't want that. No, they're going to preach, hey, look, we got Call of Duty. We don't have the full Call of Duty, but we got Call of Duty Mobile. It's still something.
They recently announced that Call of Duty Mobile has passed over 650 million users.
That's ridiculous. I tried it. I was actually really good. Once I shifted to controller, I became a Call of Duty Mobile legend, and then I retired.
And that's over. Good. That's over it's since 2019. So
that is crazy.
It's somewhere in the 90% area of all gamers are mobile gamers.
That's what I'm getting at. Why just not add like one game? It really would. I mean, that would help because then it if you added Call of Duty Mobile and then you advertised it because you're an advertising company. That's where you got your start. You could literally be like, hey, Call of Duty Mobile is now, if they click it in the Play Store, it just takes them to the Stadia app and loads up right away. Then you don't have to download a 2 gig file to your phone. And you're going to get, advantage of the cloud tech that makes the game run better. That's what I like. There are things that make my brain hurt trying to wrap around what the F Google does, because it should not be that hard to figure things out. That's what Microsoft did for a while. That was their biggest flaw with Windows phones, is their app store sucked. They didn't have anything. Now the Windows store that they have now, or Microsoft store, they've opened it up and allowed things like Epic and all of these other companies to start adding their stuff. And I'm like, Google, why can't you do that? Bring some of your fucking games that are popular. You obviously can see that stuff, and just add it into Stadia for whether it's temporary or you keep it there. You're going to get people that are going to play it regardless. I can guarantee you, everybody that has Stadia that plays it, if they saw Call of Duty Mobile up there, some of them be like, "Oh fuck, we don't need that shit on here." They're still gonna play it. I bet you 10-1 they will still go on there and they'll still be exactly. They'd still be streaming it because it's a game to play and it's something different.
Yep. So, you guys got any final thoughts y'all want to throw out there?
Just have fun gaming. Like literally,
Yeah.
use what's available and have fun gaming. There's so many freaking options. Whether it's Luna, if you're into Resident Evil, hey, they just added Resident Evil 2. I mean, I'm not because I don't like scary games like that because I'll scream like a girl and nobody wants. I mean, most people.
I also wanted to say, there's a lot of affordable options out there now. You know, especially with like subscription models and stuff of that nature. It's a lot easier to get into gaming now. So to me, I say try not to limit yourself to just one platform. But if you do love that platform, I understand if that's all you want to play, and I'm cool with that. I just don't like people saying like this platform doesn't count or this platform doesn't matter when everybody has something that they bring to the table, and just enjoy the games.
Also, just to add on to what you're saying, we're gamers and we get competitive and we start nitpicking the semantics of things, you know, and it's sometimes we forget that that's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I said this to Anthony, or either on his show or in a tweet, and I said it doesn't matter, or I might have said this on mine when he was watching. I don't really know where the hell it was at, but I said it doesn't matter whether you play Xbox, you play your console on PlayStation or Nintendo or Xbox, or you're in the cloud. Every single person that bickers about what platform is better, we're all the same. Because if you boil it all down, we're all gamers. Doesn't matter where you play or how you play it. You fucking play Monopoly on board game, you're still a gamer. You're still playing a game. It literally says it in the title, board game. We're all gamers. We just I mean, that's just the nature of gaming is we always, I mean, shit, Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
We all have our preferences.
That was what started it all. Exactly. Who's better? What are you, Team Mario or Team Sonic? I mean, now it's just gotten different over the years. You had the console stuff. Cloud's going to be no different, but if we just take away where we're playing it at and we just enjoy gaming, that's really what all that matters.
Very true. Very true. Well, guys, you got anything coming up that you want to shout out, or anybody you want to shout out, Mr. Maker of Chaos?
The Xbox Showcase, I know Cloudy with Games is going to do a live stream of that. And we had fun last year. And oh god,
sorry, Link. I saw Link's comment. I play Pokemon Go. I'm a gamer. Hey, that game was a big thing. That was a big fad back in the day.
I'm also going to try and finish almost said finish Amazon Luna. Finish Alien Isolation on Amazon Luna on Monday. I've been trying to beat the game for a while, and so I'm gonna do that.
Awesome. Yeah, check him out. I got links down in the description for Maker of Chaos. Check out his Twitch. Follow him on Twitter.
Or Cloud Gaming Extreme. You're probably gonna see more videos there as well from me.
Awesome. That's cool, man. Yeah, check out Cloud Gaming Extreme. Shout out to all of those guys. Yeah, they do really good stuff. Vet, you got anything coming up?
Nothing. I'm done for the weekend. I'll be back Monday and Wednesday. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays on Twitch. I know I'll be doing at least 2 first looks. I've got Mass Effect. I'm going to do a first look at on I think Monday or Wednesday, I'm not sure what day, but I'm also going to do a first look at PC Building Simulator 2 because they had an open beta that was announced that I installed locally. So I'm going to do a first look at that, and otherwise I'll probably just sports talk. I got a sports show with Ray on Tuesday nights, and then Thursdays Cloud Nation with Ray and Maker and JD and Dr. Spaceman, and otherwise you'll just see me in other people's streams or chats, or games probably. Promoting chaos. Usually if somebody's playing Fortnite, you're going to see me there. That's usually where I'll be at. Fortniting it up, and we're causing a massive amount of chaos to where the game kicks me out.
Nice. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on to the show.
Yeah,
I
no
want to do a
problem.
shout out to Already Exists. You guys, he's got Stadia Rush tonight. Be sure to check out his channel. He's going to be doing a look at 4 games. Chronos Before the Ashes, Lake, Blue Fire, and Deliver Us the Moon. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show, and he runs through all the games and then gives you his thoughts. And it's a good chill time, so be sure to check him out. I'll drop the link in the chat
Nice.
for everybody.
Oh, I do want to give one more shout out. I'm gonna give it. I want to shout out Chariot Man Gaming, dude. I love. If you haven't watched his rants, I thought I would. My rants like my roller champions. I thought my roller champion rant was good, but Chariot Man Gaming is on a whole nother level with those. They are outstandingly funny, and they always. I don't know if he's really that.
I love his rant.
Dude, but he makes me happy. Like, I feel so much better after watching those.
Yes.
I don't ever like to miss those. The Madden one was fantastic. I was waiting for that. But I one of these days, I want to see him actually throw the controller when he does. But it's always fun to watch because you will laugh. And if you don't, there's probably something wrong with you because they are spectacular.
For sure. Shout out to Chariot Man. Thanks for joining the chat, being here, man. Thank all you guys for coming. Shout out to everybody that showed up live, and we'll be here next Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Yeah. Peace, everybody.
See you.
If it'll go. Bye. Eventually.
Get out of here at some point.
Oh my God.
Go play a game.
Yeah, go play a
It's
game.
in the game.
Oh my God. I see what's happening here.
Like the computer's crashing and it can't close. And it's like, ah.
I figured it out, guys. I figured it out. All right.
This stream down.
Peace out.